So hey guys, just a quick update. I know I haven't done one of these in a while, but I kind of wanted to mention some of the stuff that's been going on lately, which is kind of why things have been a little slow on my end. Um, haven't gotten a whole lot of writing done lately, in part because January has just been a little bit complicated, and among other things, I've had to take my PC in for some repairs. I have had to get something on my car fixed, and my cat has been well, not giving me issues, but for some reason my cat hasn't really been eating a lot lately, and we've been kind of concerned, and we kept hoping that she would kind of start eating again. So we've been trying a few different things. We took her to the vet, and I mean, right now she's doing all right, I suppose, or at least well enough. But I'd like her to do better. She's lost a lot of weight, and I'm not really sure what else we can do at this point other than just keep trying for the time being because, we took the cat to the vet. The vet looked at her and they said that they didn't see anything wrong. None of the stuff they tested for came back positive, and as far as we can tell, there's nothing physically wrong. We didn't see any broken teeth or anything that would explain, problems eating. So they gave us some antibiotics to give her and some appetite stimulant, which I think has helped a little. We tried a couple home remedy things, changing her food, a few other things, and I mean, she still seems to be acting normal. She seems to clearly be a little bit more subdued, perhaps, than she used to be, but given the fact that she doesn't seem to be eating much, that's, I guess, expected, but it just is very strange because, she used to eat too much, and she was actually a little overweight, which kind of concerned me. But then it seems to have swung in the opposite direction, and I don't really know what would have changed between one point and the other that caused my cat to drop several pounds. Now, I mean, she seems to be eating a little at a time, and when she does, she really just doesn't seem to want to eat a whole lot. I mean, I'm not really sure what else we would be able to do at this point because when we took her to the vet, they suggested that we might perhaps take her to a specialist or take her to get a complicated X-ray, which would require us taking her to Houston. And neither of these things is really a possibility in my mind at this point because the vet, the way she was talking, kind of suggested that the X-ray was not necessarily going to show us anything, and even if it did, that it wouldn't necessarily be anything we could do something about. Also, the likelihood of it being extremely expensive, given the fact that, at least for the foreseeable future anyway, I'm still not going back to work, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But just suffice it to say that if I had a certainty that this would explain or fix what is wrong with my cat, if anything, there would be no hesitation. I would do what I had to do. But I'm not going to necessarily speculate with something that is likely to provide no benefit without some sort of clear indication, at least from the vet, telling me that this needs to be done. So, I mean, hopefully that doesn't make me a bad pet owner, but it just doesn't seem to me to make sense at the moment to, go through all this just potentially to accomplish nothing. So, for right now, we're just waiting and seeing. I mean, she's still eating, not as much as I would like her to be, but she's still eating, and we're keeping an eye on her, and hopefully my cat will be with us for many years to come. But if anything else happens on that front, I guess I will let you guys know. But and to segue into the job search, so far I'll admit I'm kind of hesitant to want to go back to a job, mostly just because it was difficult for a long time for me to be all that productive with a full-time job, plus with the pandemic making things complicated. And maybe that's no excuse, but it was just one of those things where it was hard to I guess, get my mind in the right zone to want to do the things that I should enjoy doing. And making this video, at least in part, is an effort to sort of get past that and just, do things that I should be doing, but I haven't been. Because when I stop doing certain things, I start getting very nervous about picking them back up again, even if this is stuff I've done for years and stuff I've done for, all the time, that sort of thing. So that's kind of why one of the reasons why writing has been slow lately. And it's not that I don't know how to do it. It's not that I don't want to do it, but something usually keeps me from doing whatever it is, because I don't know. I know I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and that's part of the problem. But that's kind of why I'm doing a vlog and just telling myself that it's like it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be polished. It doesn't even have to be good. This is just to do it, to get myself on camera and to be able to actually say something to you guys. So, but as far as the job search, like, I have a resume, and part of the problem, well, not problem, but one of the reasons why, at least for now, I am still in a holding pattern is because I'm still waiting on Social Security to get me a new Social Security card, which supposedly they say is coming. And once I get that, I still have a few more steps I have to make before I can actually even consider the possibility of looking for new employment, among which includes getting a new license, getting my bank stuff updated. Probably I have to talk to car insurance and any number of other organizations to get all that stuff where it needs to be so that I can do what I need to do. And in all honesty, I would like this extended break to last a little while longer, because I kind of wish I'd been making more progress, but some of that's my fault, some of that's other stuff, and me indulging my hesitation a little bit more than I would like to. It's one of those short-term benefit, long-term detriment kind of things, I guess, if that makes any kind of sense. But I'm, trying to see if I can't get into a pattern that I can just perpetually maintain, because I like to have a buffer so that there's less pressure for me to produce things. I like to be able to more or less do them at my own pace, take a day off if I need to, that sort of thing. But and while I was, Christmas kind of hiccuped things a little bit because things got complicated afterwards, and of course we had a few other issues that have made things complicated, and perhaps that's no reason why it should have run into as many issues as it did, but I am working on that. And also, I guess the last thing to mention is, so there's been, talk about conventions with the vaccine coming out, and with hopefully life returning to some semblance of normality eventually. The possibility has been floated that we might actually be able to go to conventions this year. Now, right now, we have two potential conventions on the docket. Obviously, Texas Furry Fiesta is not going to be happening in person this year. So, that'll be the first time I haven't gone to a convention in an entire calendar year. Well, roaming year. I don't know what you'd call it, but TFF 2020 was my last convention before all of this started happening, and it's hopefully going to be at least possible to hold a convention this summer. If so, we will be attending the 55-year mission tour, formerly Star Trek Las Vegas, which for whatever reason no longer has a contract with CBS, so they can't hold an official event. But while I'm aware that there will be certain things that they can't do, um, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that they sign a new contract or something, because I really enjoyed having all the official stuff there. It's like I didn't even realize the first time I went that there was an official contract. I guess I should have, perhaps, but we would like to go to that one. We're also talking about maybe a small convention in October to potentially replace Midwest Fur Fest, because we were with Fur Fest, we were gonna go in 2019 as our last year. Then we decided we wanted to go one additional year in 2020, but of course, we know what happened there. So it is, at least at this time, unlikely that we will be headed back to Furfest. And beyond that, I don't know, but we'll see. Right now, everything's in flux. To be entirely honest with you, I'm not 100% confident that we will be doing conventions anytime soon, but it's like I would like to. I mean, I'm really hoping that conventions go back into business. That we start having in-person conventions again, and that I can travel places and do things. But whether or not all that happens is kind of subjective at this point. And if you asked me to wage a bet, I would say maybe 50-50 as far as whether or not we have summer convention. But hopefully we can get back to that soon. And other than that, I'm just going to try to see if I can't get into a sustainable routine that I can keep going if and when I return to work, and exactly what that looks like. Because part of what I've been trying to do in the past month is just figure out how to balance all of my priorities. Because when things were going really well in November, I thought that I would be at a certain point, and things have not gone that well. So the the plans have kind of shifted because um as they have done a couple of times over these past few months, which is part of the reason why I've had a difficult time figuring things out, because what I think I need to do keeps changing a little bit. And one of the things I've been working on in January that I have been getting done is doing some editing of some of the projects. And although I mean, editing sometimes for me is harder than writing, just because you have to, I guess I get nervous about if I change something, did I cause a problem? Or I don't know, maybe it's from probably overthinking it. But anyway, well, it's all been, I think, positive overall, because I found some mistakes or some things, repetition, stuff I want to change, stuff that you find in going over your early drafts, that overall it's been good. It's also kind of taken longer than expected to do some of this stuff. Now, I guess strictly speaking, I don't have any real deadlines, but was hoping to have something solid to at least show for for the time I've had on break, which depending on how long that still turns out to be, is still a possibility. But exactly what form that takes at this point, I'm not exactly sure, because it's been a while since I've done some of these steps. And also I'm trying to find a way to do some of to spread my resources around so that I can do a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. It's like I want to keep producing new material, but I also want to keep preparing the other stuff, which is very time intensive and requires a lot of concentration. And hopefully February will be a better month, at least in terms of productivity, in terms of mentality. Just making forward progress would make me happy at this point, which hopefully means that I will have something to show you guys relatively soon. I mean, there's some stuff that I have that is effectively ready to go, but I don't want to release it without having certain things in place. It's like I'm waiting on some thumbnails for some stories, and while I'm at it, I'm editing some of those stories, which of course is taking a while. And I'm also trying to figure out some other things that I can do or need to do in terms of life maintenance. Of course, I got to get the car inspected sometime in the next month, and I have to get my taxes done, and there's all that fun stuff. So there's a lot going on, a lot of balls in the air, and I just wanted to let you guys know what's going on, just update you, and just kind of, I guess, just get back into the habit of doing the vlogs, because I hadn't done one in a while, but they're also, and maybe I'm rambling at this point, but they're also very comparatively easy for me to do because they require a lot less prep work. So I'm going to see if I can try and do one every 2 weeks like I was doing before. Or approximately, maybe. But in any case, that is that. So, I mean, if I accomplish nothing else today, at least I've done this. And I will talk to you guys soon, and hopefully within 2 weeks I will have some good news. At bare minimum, I hope to have a shiny new social security card with Lauren on it. And other than that, we'll see. But one thing at a time. Catch you guys later.
Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, click the subscribe button and leave a comment below. You can also find me on Twitter and a few other places on the web, or support me via Patreon or Ko-fi. Zebra hugs!